My name is Emily, and if someone had told me that my loyal German shepherd would be the one to expose my marriage, I would have laughed. But now, when I look back, I realize Rex saw everything long before I was ready to see it myself. When Jason and I first moved into our small two-bedroom house in the suburbs, everything felt almost annoyingly perfect. We had the white picket fence. We had matching coffee mugs hanging in the kitchen. We had fairy lights on the backyard patio, where we drank cheap wine on Friday nights and talked about forever. And we had Rex. Rex came before Jason, a wiggly, oversized puppy I adopted after a horrible breakup and a lonely winter. He slept by my bed, chewed my shoes, and learned to read every shift in my mood. By the time I met Jason, Rex was already my family. The first time Jason came over, Rex watched him carefully. No barking, no growling, just a deep, silent study, as if he was trying to decide whether this man was safe enough to share a life with me. "He's intense," Jason joked, scratching Rex behind the ears, like a furry lie detector. If only I'd taken that joke more literally. At our wedding, Rex wore a little bow tie. Everyone laughed, everyone took pictures. Jason's mother said, "I've never seen a dog look so proud." He was proud. His whole body wagged when I walked down the aisle. And somehow, through all the music and lights and tears, I remember looking at Rex and thinking, as long as I have him, I'll be okay. I didn't realize how true that would be. The first shift was small, subtle. Jason started coming home later. Meetings ran late. Traffic was insane. The client wouldn't stop talking. Normal excuses, reasonable excuses. But Rex didn't think so. At first, when the garage door opened and Jason walked in, Rex ran to greet him like always, tail wagging. Then, slowly, the greeting changed. The tail wagging slowed. Rex's ears tilted back, just a little. Instead of licking Jason's hand, Rex sniffed his clothes thoroughly, especially around his chest and collar. Then he'd walk back to my side and sit there, stiff, like he wanted to put space between us. I noticed. Of course I noticed. "Hey," I said one night, brushing my fingers through his fur. "What's with you, huh? You don't like Daddy's cologne anymore?" Jason laughed. "Maybe he's jealous," he teased, kissing my cheek. "He can share you." Rex just stared at him, not playful, not jealous, just wary. I didn't understand it then. But you know that feeling when your heart knows something before your brain catches up? That was me. I just wasn't ready to listen. One rainy Thursday, everything shifted a little more. I was sitting on the couch, laptop open, pretending to work but mostly scrolling through nothing. The weather outside was gray and heavy and slow. The front door opened. Rex's head jerked up. He didn't charge forward like usual. He stood. He froze. And then his nose wrinkled. Jason walked in, shaking his umbrella, water droplets flying everywhere. "Hey, babe," he said, putting down his bag. "Ugh, rain is disgusting." I smiled, about to get up and kiss him. "Rough day?" And that's when Rex moved. He stepped between us so suddenly my knee hit his back. His body went stiff, muscles tight, tail raised halfway. A low growl rolled from his chest. "Rex!" I gasped. "What are you doing?" Jason flinched. "What the hell, Emily? Get your dog under control." I grabbed Rex's collar gently, feeling his whole body vibrating with tension. "Rex, it's just Jason. It's okay, boy. It's okay." But he wouldn't relax. He stared at Jason's coat, not at his hands, not at his face, at the coat. And then I smelled it. Perfume, not mine. Something floral, expensive, unfamiliar. A stranger's scent wrapped around my husband. I blinked, swallowing. "You smell nice," I tried to joke, searching Jason's eyes. "New coworker spill her perfume on you or something?" His face tightened for half a second. Then he laughed it off. "Somebody at the office practically bathed in it," he said. "I was standing too close in the elevator. Relax, Em." Rex didn't relax. He kept staring, growling at Jason's chest, like the truth was written right there. But I forced a smile. I pulled Rex back. I put dinner on the table. I pretended it was nothing. That night in bed, Rex ignored Jason completely and curled up on my side, pressing his back against my legs like a living barrier. I stared into the dark, my heart whispering, "Something is wrong," and my brain whispering back, "You're overreacting." I chose the second voice. 2 days later, the second sign came. It was a Saturday morning. Jason had gone to the gym like he always claimed he did on weekends. Rex sprawled on the kitchen floor, lazy and content, watching me make pancakes. The door opened. Jason walked in, rubbing the back of his neck. "Gym was packed," he said. "I'm dead. I need a shower." He dropped his gym bag by the door and kissed my forehead. I smiled, but my stomach rolled. Rex's nose twitched. He got up, walked straight to the gym bag, and sniffed it in slow circles. Then he froze. His head tilted. He sniffed the same spot again. Then he looked at me. Really looked at me. "Rex," I said, my chest tightening. "What is it, boy?" He took the zipper of the gym bag gently in his teeth and pulled. The bag opened just enough. Something small and shiny glinted inside. My fingers trembled a little as I pushed Rex aside and knelt down. It was an earring. Not mine, gold, dainty, with a tiny pearl. The kind you don't just drop into someone else's bag by accident. My throat closed. Before I could process it, Jason rushed back into the room, hair still damp from the shower. He saw the earring in my hand and went pale for a fraction of a second. Then his jaw clenched. "Don't go through." "My stuff," he snapped. I looked up at him. "Whose is this?" I asked quietly. He laughed, a sharp fake sound. "I don't know. Someone probably dropped it at the gym. Those lockers are filthy. It probably stuck to my clothes or something." I stared at the earring, at Rex, at Jason. Rex growled, not loud, not dramatic. Just this steady, disapproving rumble as he stood beside me. "Jason," I whispered, my voice barely holding together, "are you cheating on me?" He scoffed. "Of course not. Are you serious right now? You find one stupid earring and suddenly I'm a cheater?" Rex barked once, sharp, like a slap. Jason glared at him. "That dog is insane. We need to work on his behavior." He snatched the earring from my hand and tossed it into the kitchen trash. "Drop it, Em," he said. "You're overthinking, again, again." Like I was the problem. Rex stood there, staring at the trash can, his ears back, his body tense. When Jason left the room, Rex walked to the trash, nudged it gently, and looked at me. His eyes said everything. "Don't let this go." But I wasn't ready to handle the truth. Not yet. So I did what so many people do. I pushed it down, I smoothed it over, I told myself, "Wait, watch. Maybe you're wrong." Rex knew I wasn't. The truth came on a quiet Tuesday morning. Jason left early, saying he had back-to-back meetings downtown. I stood at the window, sipping coffee, watching his car disappear down the street. Rex sat beside me, ears forward, watching too. "Just another long day," I murmured. "Right, boy?" Rex didn't move. 20 minutes later, he started pacing. Not random, not restless, purposeful. He walked to the front door, back to me, back to the door. He nudged my leg. He whined low in his throat. "You want to go out?" I asked. He barked once. I grabbed his leash, but he dodged it and went straight to the door again. "Okay," I sighed. "No leash, but you stay close, Rex. You understand?" He looked right into my eyes, and I swear, it felt like he did. We stepped outside. Instead of heading toward the park like usual, Rex turned left, down the sidewalk, toward the main street. "Where are we going?" I asked, trying to keep up as he picked up speed. He moved with intention, not sniffing trees, not exploring, tracking. We walked past the coffee shop on the corner, past the bus stop, past the dry cleaner where I always waved at the old owner. Rex turned again, this time toward a cozy cafe with big glass windows. I'd been there once or twice. Jason said he didn't like it. Too noisy, he'd claimed. Rex stopped. His body went rigid, his ears pinned back, his tail dropped. He let out a noise I'd never heard before, somewhere between a whine and a growl, full of pain and anger and warning. I followed his gaze through the glass, and my world shattered. Jason was there, sitting at a small round table near the window. His jacket, my Christmas gift, was draped. Around a woman's shoulders, she leaned into him, laughing, touching his chest like she'd done it 100 times. His hand rested on her thigh. His face was relaxed. He looked happy. Happy in a way I hadn't seen in months. I froze. The coffee cup slipped from my hand and shattered on the pavement. I barely heard it. Everything went quiet. My ears rang. My chest felt like it was collapsing inward. Rex pressed against my leg, his body anchoring me, keeping me standing. Jason didn't see me. He was too busy. He reached up, brushing a piece of hair behind the woman's ear, the same ear that might have worn that gold earring. Something inside me broke cleanly, like glass. Tears blurred my vision. The world outside the cafe became a smear of color and movement. Rex barked, once, loud, right at the glass. Jason jerked his head toward the window. His eyes widened when he saw us. Me, standing there, tears streaming down my face, and Rex beside me, teeth bared, growling at him through the glass. Our gazes locked. For a moment, no one moved. The woman turned, confused, then pulled her hand away from his leg. Jason stood up so fast he almost knocked over his chair. I didn't run, I didn't shout, I didn't throw anything. I just looked at him. Then I turned around and walked away. Rex followed, staying glued to my side, his body pressed against mine like he was holding my broken pieces together. Behind us, I heard Jason calling my name. I didn't turn back. If I did, I knew I'd crumble. I waited until we turned the corner before I finally collapsed on someone's front lawn, sobbing into Rex's fur. He didn't move. He just let me cry, his chin resting gently on my shoulder. He had dragged me to the truth because I wouldn't walk there on my own. The confrontation that night was a movie I never wanted to star in. Jason came home with panic in his eyes. "Emily, let me explain," he pleaded. "It's not what it looked like." Rex stood in front of me again, growling, refusing to let him get too close. "Move your dog," Jason snapped. "No," I said. My voice felt strange, calm, like it belonged to someone else. "Say whatever you want from there." He scrubbed his hands over his face. "It was just—" He paused, searching for the right lie. "It was a coworker. She's going through a hard time. I was comforting her." "You kissed her," I said. "On the mouth, twice. That's not comforting." He froze. I hadn't planned to say it. I hadn't planned anything. But the memory was burned into my brain, whether I wanted it or not. The way he leaned in, the way she tilted her chin up, the way it looked familiar. Like it wasn't the first time. Rex's growl rumbled deeper. "She means nothing," Jason tried again. "It was stupid. I messed up. But it's not serious. We can fix this." I stared at him. "You lied to me," I whispered. "Over and over. You lied when you smelled like perfume. You lied about the earring. You lied this morning when you said you had meetings. It's not just one mistake, Jason. It's a pattern, and I'm tired." He rolled his eyes, desperate now. "So you're taking the dog's side?" I almost laughed. "Yes," I said, "because the dog hasn't lied to me yet." Rex barked once as if to underline it. Jason's face twisted with anger. "You know what? This is insane. He's the problem. He's always in the way. He's aggressive, he's controlling, he's making you paranoid. If you want this marriage to work, the dog goes." I froze. "You want me to get rid of Rex?" I repeated slowly. "Because he exposed you." "He's just a dog," Jason shouted. "This is our marriage. Are you really going to throw it away for an animal?" I felt something inside me harden. Not anger, not rage, clarity. "I'm not throwing away a marriage," I said softly. "I'm accepting that you already did, and he's not just a dog. He's the only one in this house who chose me every single day." Rex moved closer, his shoulder brushing my thigh. Jason looked between the two of us. He saw it then. The choice he had forced me to make. He didn't like the answer. He grabbed his keys off the counter. "Fine," he snapped. "If you want to destroy everything over a dog, be my guest. Don't call me when you regret it." He slammed the door so hard the frames on the wall shook. Rex didn't chase him. He just watched the door, then turned back to me and gently licked the tears from my hand. "Guess it's just us now, huh?" I whispered. He wagged his tail once, and for the first time since the cafe, I felt like I could breathe. The next few months were a blur of paperwork, lawyers, sleepless nights, and awkward conversations with friends who didn't know what to say. Some people told me I was brave. Some told me I was foolish. A few hinted that maybe it wasn't that bad and at least he didn't have kids with someone else. I stopped talking to those people. Rex, on the other hand, said nothing. He didn't have to. He was there when I called my parents and told them everything. He was there when I signed the divorce papers, my hand shaking so badly I could barely hold the pen. He was there when I picked up the last box of my things from the house that no longer felt like home. I moved into a smaller apartment across town. The floors creaked, the heater hissed at night. The neighbors slammed doors, but it was mine and Rex's. The first night there, I sat on the bare living room floor, surrounded by boxes and takeout containers, and cried quietly into my knees. Rex walked over, carrying something in his mouth. He dropped it in my lap, the earring. The same gold earring Jason had thrown into the trash. Rex must have fished it out before the garbage went out. I stared at it, stunned. "You kept this?" I whispered. He wagged his tail once, like he'd been waiting for the right moment to give it back. I held the earring between my fingers, the metal cold and small. Then I stood up, walked to the kitchen trash, and dropped it in without hesitation. This time, I took the bag, tied it up, and carried it straight outside to the dumpster. When I came back in, Rex barked once, bright, satisfied. I sat down on the floor again. He lay next to me, head on my lap, eyes closed. "Thank you," I whispered into his fur. "Thank you for pulling me out of something I was too scared to leave." His tail thumped softly against the floor, and for the first time in a long time, I felt something that wasn't pain. I felt free. Months passed. I got a promotion at work. I started going to therapy. I tried yoga and hated it. I learned to cook 2 new dishes that didn't taste like sadness. Most importantly, I started trusting myself again. I stopped asking, "What did I do wrong?" and started asking, "What do I deserve now?" Rex relaxed too. He started sleeping on his back again, paws in the air, belly exposed. A sign he finally felt safe. No more pacing halls at midnight. No more growling at the door. No more tracking Jason's scent around the house like a ghost. One evening, I took Rex to the park just before sunset. The sky was painted in streaks of pink and orange. Kids were playing. Joggers passed by. Someone was flying a kite. I threw a ball. Rex sprinted after it, ears flying, tongue out. When he brought it back, I crouched down and hugged him tightly. "You know," I murmured into his fur, "you saved me." He licked my cheek. I pulled back and looked into his eyes. "I mean it," I said. "You dragged me to the cafe. You pushed the truth in front of me when I kept trying to look away. You stood between me and the person who was breaking my heart. You stayed when he left." He tilted his head, as if listening. "I don't know if I'll ever trust someone the same way again," I admitted. "But I know this. I trust you, completely, and maybe that's enough for now." Rex nudged my forehead with his nose. We sat there together, watching the sky burn and fade. The world kept moving. Cars honked in the distance. A dog barked. A child laughed. Life went on, and so did we. People think loyalty comes from words like, "I promise," "I swear," "I'll never hurt you." But I've learned something different. True loyalty is a dog who stands in front of you when you're too weak to stand for yourself. It's a pair of amber eyes that see the danger you don't want to acknowledge. It's a paw on your knee when you're about to go back to something that almost destroyed you. It's being dragged to a cafe window you never wanted to look through, because someone loves you enough not to let you live in a lie. Rex is not just a pet. He is my witness, my protector, my lie detector, my family. And the night I signed my divorce papers, I realized something important. My marriage ended because of betrayal. But my new life began because my dog refused to let that betrayal stay hidden. Lesson: sometimes the first one to sense danger is the one lying quietly at your feet. Listen to the energy, listen to your intuition, and if you're lucky enough to have a Rex in your life, listen to him too.